Hey YouTube, I had an early morning this morning as Taika here. She woke me up at 7 a.m. and on Saturday mornings I typically like to sleep in, but now with the new puppy, haven't been able to do so. So I figured might as well take the early morning with the peace and quiet to think of the next video that I'm going to make for you guys, as well as do some research on YouTube out there just to improve the quality of my videos. So I'm trying a new little style here, so I hope you enjoy it. As for today's video, we're going to be going over the 6 reasons as to why I hate Wealthsimple. And if you haven't checked out my previous video, just click on the link above. It goes over the 2.5 reasons as to why I like Wealthsimple. So hopefully through these 2 videos, you guys can just decide if Wealthsimple is for you or not. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Welcome back to the Fire Grind. On this channel, we talk about everything and anything that has to deal with personal finance and just helping you guys to become financially independent and hopefully retire early or just do what you love. On this episode, as I mentioned, we're going to be going over 6 reasons as to why I hate Wealthsimple. However, before we do that, let's get right into my portfolio. I'll be telling you what's been happening in it. There's been some exciting things, and if you've been following me on Instagram, you've noticed that my portfolio has dropped recently. So let's go to it right now. So we're in my portfolio right now, and we can see that I made a deposit, which I mentioned in my previous video, which is why the balance just spiked up right here. However, we can see that I'm down $333 over the past week. There are a few reasons as for this, and I'm just going to go over a couple of them. If we look at my holdings down here, we can see all the 32 holdings that I have. The major ones that made moves this week were Lightspeed, which is down here. Let's go to the chart. They've dropped from a high of $41 this week down to 37 or so. And this is, as I mentioned before, due to their recent secondary offering. So they decided to offer more shares at a lower price of $37.30. So this is why the share price dropped down to $37.30 as of Friday. Other moves in the market were Storage Vault Canada. And this one has been on a tear recently, and if we zoom out 1 year, it was about 267. And I started buying around the 340 and 320 mark around here. So we can see that it shot up quite a bit, and I think right now it's just about consolidating at the 360 level, 370 level. I don't expect it to go much higher for the short term. However, as the storage business is consolidating, as in Storage Vault Canada is buying out all the mom and pop shops, I expect their business to continue expanding, and this is how they expand in the storage business. It's got a very high moat to it because you need a lot of capital in order to invest in new buildings, and as a new competitor in the space, you don't have that kind of capital to drop maybe 20-50 mil on each storage unit, each storage facility that is. And if you want to compete with Storage Vault Canada, you got to build out at least like 500 facilities to match them. So the next holding we're looking at is Parklawn Corp. And we can see that the stock has dropped about 10% in the past week, and this is due to their recent CEO who decided to resign. So he announced his resignation and the stock dropped, and I believe that was on the last Friday to Monday, and we got that news on Tuesday or so. So the next stock in my portfolio that we're going over is Parklawn Corp. And it's made about an 11% drop in the past week, and we can see the significant drop happened on Tuesday. And this is due to the CEO announcing his resignation and that they're looking for his new successor. However, in the interim, he's going to continue acting as the CEO until they find someone else. This creates a lot of uncertainty for the company, as we don't know who the next leader is and how they're going to help grow the business, and this is why the stock has sold off fairly heavily. The stock has skyrocketed from $11 per share to about $30 per share, and this is because under the CEO's guidance, Park Lawn Corp has been acquiring a lot of the mom and pop funeral businesses and just bringing their large corporation efficiencies into them and making more bottom line profits. And this is how they've been growing the company. And we know 3 things in life are certain: death, life, and taxes. So Park Lawn Corp is servicing one of those 3 things that are certain in life, and I only believe that with the rise in population, as well as we know that baby boomers are aging, Park Lawn Corp is definitely going to profit from the aging generation sooner or later, as sad as it sounds. So that about concludes it for the portfolio, and now let's get into the 6 reasons as to why I hate Wealthsimple. Before we get into the 6 reasons as to why I hate Wealthsimple, consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel for future updates, as well as leave a comment down below if you have anything to say or questions. Also, another tip for you guys: if you find this video to be a little longer, you can increase the speed. Just hit the little gear button down in the bottom right corner and click on speed, and you can increase it up to 2 times. So the first reason as to why I don't like Wealthsimple is because the portfolio performance monitoring is almost non-existent. So if we look in the Wealthsimple portfolio performance monitoring, all we can really do is check out the price action of today, as well as the total gains and losses since the opening of the position. I can't even sort my positions based on the largest position to the smallest position, or the position with the highest gains versus the lowest gains. And these are all very useful tools, especially with 32 stocks in my portfolio. The second reason as to why I don't like Wealthsimple is because the charts are very limited in information. So if we look at a lot of the other charting software out there like Yahoo Finance, TradingView, or even on some of the other brokerages like TD Direct Investing, they have a lot more features in the charts and they give you more information. They give you information like volume of stocks being traded that day. They give you other things like you can see the bar graphs to show the high and low. There's different ways to configure the chart that is very useful for just figuring out entry points into positions. Also getting trend lines. So these are all things that I wish that Wealthsimple had, so I can do everything, all my research or all my planning on the platform. The third thing that I don't like about Wealthsimple is the limited data. On Wealthsimple, they don't have any articles that are linked to the stocks, so you can't really do any of your heavy research, more of your qualitative research rather than your quantitative research. Usually with article titles, you can kind of tell what news has been going on with the company, and they can tell you like the recent drops that are happening. Just if all the news articles are negative, or if all the news articles are positive, you can see why the stock has popped. So these are all useful pieces of information that can save you bits and pieces of time as you're doing investing throughout the day. Maybe you're working at a job and you just quickly want to pop into Wealthsimple and check your investments, and then on there you only see the price action, but you don't even see the distributions or anything. So you have to switch over to a second app and do all that research. So it'd be nice if Wealthsimple had all those options, like maybe in advanced mode. The fourth reason for why I don't really like Wealthsimple is because there's a delay of 15 minutes in their price. So what you see on the chart is not what you actually pay if you make a market buy order, because the prices are delayed by 15 minutes. And this can be an issue because within 15 minutes, sometimes stocks can jump 2, 3, 4% if it's a very volatile security. The second last reason as why Wealthsimple is not the greatest platform for trading is because there's no US account available. And we know that the US market is just a lot more fruitful right now in terms of returns. If you look at all those high-tech companies like Amazon or Facebook, their returns are astronomical. However, when you look at Canada, maybe the only tech companies you can invest in are Shopify. With the lack of a US account, that means you're paying 1.5% in exchange fees for buying and selling as well. So this is horrible because you already are out 3% right away. So you have to make 3% in order just to break even. if you're thinking of buying and selling US securities, really consider this. The last reason as to why Wealthsimple isn't the greatest platform is because the limited selection of shares. So there's restrictions that Wealthsimple places on the shares that you can purchase. They have to have at least a trading volume of 50,000, as well as there are certain shares that they don't support. One of the big ones that I noticed recently was Disney. I couldn't find Disney on there. Another company that I'm really looking into investing in was GoEasy. If you look at them, they do a lot of smaller loans for people who are trying to buy furniture that cost in the thousands of dollars. And GoEasy gives a simple way for people to finance these larger purchases. And their business has been growing rapidly. However, due to the limited number of volume of shares that are traded each day, we see that Wealthsimple does not support GoEasy. As well as you can see other stocks in my portfolio like Absolute Software and Cargojet are two examples. They've actually been taken off the Wealthsimple platform recently simply because they don't have the 50,000 volume required. And that wraps it up for the 6 reasons as to why I don't like Wealthsimple. I'm still using Wealthsimple because it is zero commission trading fees, and that just trumps the 6 reasons that I mentioned in this video. So I will continue showing portfolio updates. However, if you have any questions or comments on the 6 reasons I mentioned, just leave them down below and I can answer them and give you more clarification. If you like the video and you like this content, just consider hitting that like button and the subscribe button to help my channel out. Keep up the grind and have a great day.